Well, it's obviously about non-duality, and the way I approach non-duality and the way I talk about it in the books and in the lecture and workshops is in a very simple way. But here, simplicity can be very sophisticated because I expose a few tools that the spiritual seeker uses to be able to continue the search, to postpone, to see his or her true nature. And these three tools are, the first one being identification, which means that you say there is me here and the others over there. The second one, the belief in a spiritual good and a spiritual bad. Like I'm now only an average seeker and I'm looking for a perfect state, which I heard about in books and spiritual traditions who describe the lives of so-called enlightened beings or bodhisattvas. And then the third tool of the seeker is the belief in a past and a future. And that belief in the past and the future lets the seeker continue to postpone its true nature into the future, to project it into a future, and postpone the discovery of the true nature. So these three tools are shared with the audience in order that they might understand and have also the clarity that what you really are is not something that you have to go and look for, because it is what you are. However, what you believe you are, a seeker on a spiritual path, is exposed as an illusion. I'm not saying that day-to-day life is an illusion. I think it looks very real. And in day-to-day life, I feel like a person going from Belgium to Tokyo and traveling and talking to people according to a schedule that was based on time. But when it comes to non-duality, these three tools are rather obstacles. And the whole weekend that we spent together, and also afterwards, while we were having these private sessions here in this room of the publisher, was about pointing to that particular subject. Well, this is also very popular in certain spiritual schools, or what some teachers share, is that we have to learn to live in the now, because the now is supposed to be something powerful that can open things and bring us to another dimension. I'm not ignoring it, but I would say let's first see if we can find any sort of now. Where is the present moment? Before you even think about it, it's already gone. And for me, past and future are very practical again for day-to-day life. But even when I think about last year or I think about tomorrow, these thoughts will always be in the present moment, if you like. And trying to live in the now would again be a tool of the ego to have something new to do. But you are already living in the now. And the additional problem is that that person that should be doing this cannot be found. During the workshops here in Tokyo, we did several times experiments that we were looking for that person and nobody found it in the room. So if there is no person to be found, if that is only a concept that is appearing on that screen once in a while for a few milliseconds and then again, but only maybe 10 or 20 or 100 times a day, it's not even continuously there. It's not a real entity. It's a concept. It's like a small little program. And that insight on a spiritual level can make you ask questions about where am I going? What is still missing? Well, first of all, I must say it's a bit dangerous to say that there is no bad and no good, because then people panic and say, yes, but what about the world? What about the thieves and the murderers and so forth? So I would say for the rules of society, it's very practical to keep on thinking in terms of good and bad. Like, you know that you have to stop for red and you have to go on for green. That's very practical, and I'm not against that at all. But when it comes to the spiritual seeker who wants to know, why are we here? Where are we coming from? What is a human being? Who am I? What is the nature of consciousness? What is the source of everything? What is infinity? And what is my position towards that? In that particular setting, on a religious basis, I would not talk about good and bad. I would not say that there's heaven and hell. I would not put a so-called enlightened master higher than the other people. So it's not only about good and bad, but also about gradation, about levels. The seeker considers himself or herself as a normal level or even a low level, and wants to have the same level of consciousness as that bodhisattva or enlightened master, whatever you call it. And I am just saying we're all on the same level. There is this ocean where we all have these waves, and we are all waves, and as a wave we look separate, we look different, but as an ocean we are one, and that ocean is always horizontal. It's not like we are here and the enlightened masters are over there. So in the workshops and during the talks, I say the quality of my consciousness is the same as the quality of the people who are sitting here. There is no sort of gradation between, there is no difference between us. So I'm not looking down on them, and I don't want them to look up to me, because I don't want to play the role of a guru who is supposed to be better than the others and take them by the hand and lead them to heaven. That is absolutely not my intention. Quite the contrary, people expect it from me, and they project it on me because I wrote these books, but I'm as ordinary as anyone else. So what can happen is that people who are sitting in the room receive some clarity about the subject, some basic understanding. And when that is combined with some sort of a glimpse or some sort of a experience of that which cannot be experienced, then that can be, let's say, a introduction in ending the spiritual search. But not that you say, now I'm going to stop this searching because I have found all the answers. No, because there are no more answers appearing. And we had it several times during the individual sessions here that people said, yes, I'm running out of questions, or I'm confused, the mind is confused. But that's rather a good sign, although I'm not going to talk about good and bad, but that's very, it's not a problem, let's put it that way.